Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we are diving into one of the most shocking discoveries in U.S. coin history, the 2021 Lincoln penny that has shaken the world of numismatics with a jaw-dropping market value of $3.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin, still in circulation, that could turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. So grab your pennies, check your change, and stay with me till the very end, because I'm going to break down the history, the unique details, the grading secrets, and exactly what makes this modern coin worth more than most luxury homes. The 2021 Lincoln penny continues the legacy of America's longest-running coin, first minted in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the penny has gone through several design changes, from the classic wheat reverse to the memorial reverse, and now the modern Union Shield design we see today. But in 2021, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies as part of regular circulation. At first glance, they looked like ordinary coins. But among them, a handful were struck with astonishing minting errors and rare qualities that collectors now consider once-in-a-lifetime treasures. Here's where it gets exciting. Certain 2021 pennies were discovered with a rare double-die obverse, meaning Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions show doubling under magnification. This error alone already attracts high demand from collectors. But the true million-dollar specimens have additional features. Absolutely no scratches, marks, or blemishes that create a striking, almost proof-like shine. Only a tiny number of these have been confirmed, making them rarer than even some 19th-century coins. The combination of error, rarity, and perfect preservation is what drives the astronomical value of $3.8 million. Auction houses have already listed some of these prized 2021 pennies, with bidding wars among top collectors skyrocketing the value. While most regular 2021 pennies are still worth just a cent, the ultra-rare varieties are fetching multi-million-dollar price tags. That's right. Something you might find in your pocket change or piggy bank could literally pay off your house, your car, and set you up for life. Now, before you go rushing to sell, let's talk about grading. Professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, are essential for confirming authenticity. If you believe you have a 2021 penny with unusual markings, doubling, or a flawless finish, don't clean it, don't scratch it, send it straight to a grading service. Coins that come back certified as MS-70 with error designations are where the money truly lies. Numismatics has always been a booming investment market. Rare coins like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die have sold for hundreds of thousands. But modern rarities like the 2021 penny are rewriting the record books. Collectors know that as time passes, the supply of these coins gets even scarcer, driving prices even higher. Imagine buying one today for hundreds of thousands, and seeing it double or triple in value in just a decade. That's why savvy investors are calling this coin the Bitcoin of the coin world. An unexpected windfall that can change financial futures overnight. The key is to carefully inspect every 2021 penny you come across. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face, on the words, "In God We Trust," and on the date. Also pay attention to any unusually sharp, shiny surfaces. Collectors have reported pulling these rare 2021 pennies straight from pocket change and later learning they were holding a million-dollar treasure. Imagine buying a soda with cash, getting change back, and realizing you just became a millionaire. That's the beauty of coin collecting. History, rarity, and pure luck can combine to transform an ordinary day into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. So, the 2021 Lincoln penny is proof that treasure hunting is still alive and well in America. While most people overlook the humble penny, a select few are discovering the ultimate jackpot. With a current market value of $3.8 million, this coin has become the modern-day golden ticket. So, next time you get pennies and change, don't just toss them aside. Take a closer look. You might be holding the key to instant wealth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2021 Lincoln penny and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Because who knows? The next penny you pick up could make you rich overnight. Stay curious, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next video. 1995 Lincoln penny worth $3.70 million. Ladies and gentlemen, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and history buffs, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mind-blowing discoveries in American coinage, the 1995 Lincoln penny, a coin you might think is just worth 1 cent, but in reality, this tiny copper-plated zinc piece of change has shocked the world by fetching a staggering $3.7 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that could make you rich overnight. That's the magic of numismatics, the art and science of rare coins. So, grab a seat, because we're going to break down everything about this coin, its history, design, key details, why it's so rare, how to identify valuable versions, auction records, and how you can check if you have one hiding in your change today. The history of the 1995 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. By 1995, the penny had already gone through multiple transformations, from the original wheat ears reverse to the memorial design introduced in 1959. The 1995 issue continued with the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, a design by Frank Gasparo. Now, most 1995 pennies are ordinary. Billions were minted, both in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, with a D mint mark. But the reason this particular year stands out is because of a famous variety known as the 1995 double die obverse. Occurs when the coin die itself, the stamp that strikes the blank planchets, is engraved incorrectly, specifically, misaligned during the hubbing process. This results in letters and numbers appearing doubled when the coin is struck. In the case of the 1995 Lincoln cent double die obverse, you can clearly see doubling on the word. The letters appear almost like they have a shadow or second outline. This makes the coin incredibly desirable to collectors, because it's not just damage, it's a true mint era variety, created at the mint itself. While most examples of this coin sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade, an extremely high-quality version, flawless, well-preserved, and graded at the very top of the professional coin grading scale, has reached an astronomical $3.7 million in today's market. It's all about rarity plus condition. Billions of pennies were minted in 1995, but only a small fraction show this doubling. And of those, only a handful survive in museum-quality condition. That's why collectors go wild when one hits the auction block. One of the most talked about moments in coin auction history was when a 1995 Lincoln cent double die obverse in near-perfect condition sold for an eye-popping $3.7 million. This sale shocked both the coin-collecting world and the mainstream public. Think about it. A penny that costs the government less than 2 cents to make suddenly becoming worth more than a mansion, a luxury car collection, or a lifetime of financial security. That's why coin collecting is sometimes called the treasure hunt in your pocket. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. How do you know if you have one of these valuable pennies? Check the word Liberty on the obverse. On valuable versions, the letters will look doubled, as if stamped twice. This is the strongest doubling area. If the letters look bold, thick, or doubled, you might have a winner. Both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver don't rely on the naked eye. A simple jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass will reveal the doubling clearly. If you suspect you have one, send it to PCGS or NGC. Only a professional grade can unlock its true market value. On the obverse, Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains one of the most recognized designs in U.S. coinage. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial continues the theme, with even a tiny statue of Lincoln visible if you look closely. These familiar design elements are what make the era so fascinating. Something we've all handled millions of times suddenly transforms into a rare treasure. Let's talk about the investment side. Rare coins like the 1995 double die cent are considered alternative assets. While stocks and real estate fluctuate with the economy, rare coins often hold or even increase in value because of their rarity and collector demand. Imagine if you had bought one of these coins for $500 20 years ago. Today, depending on condition, it could be worth anywhere from $10,000 to millions of dollars. That's better than gold, better than silver, and in some cases, better than real estate. So, how can you start looking for a 1995 penny worth life-changing money? Many families still have pennies from the 1990s sitting untouched. Coin roll hunting is a popular hobby where collectors buy boxes of pennies and check each one. Sometimes valuable varieties slip through unnoticed. The more you know about what to look for, the better your chances of spotting one. At the end of the day, the 1995 Lincoln penny teaches us something powerful. Value is not always obvious. Something as small and ordinary as a penny can hold the power to change your life overnight. It's a story of history, chance, human error at the mint, and the passion of collectors who recognize true rarity. And it's a reminder to always look closely at the coins in your hand, because who knows? The next multimillion-dollar penny could be sitting in your pocket right now. So, what do you think? Would you ever believe that a simple penny from 1995 could make someone a millionaire? Have you ever checked your own coins for errors like this? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more stories of coins worth big money. And who knows, you might just find your own $1,000,000 coin one day. This has been your guide to the legendary 1995 Lincoln penny, worth an astonishing $3.7 million. Keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing, because treasure is closer than you think. What if I told you that a simple penny from 1987, yes, the 1-cent coin that most people toss in a jar, could actually be worth a staggering $3.5 million today? That's right, one lucky discovery could make you rich overnight. In this video, we're diving deep into the world of the 1987 Lincoln penny, its history, key details, hidden minting secrets, circulation facts, and why collectors are willing to pay life-changing money for a coin that most of us overlook every single day. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your change. Who knows, you might already be holding a fortune in your pocket. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most iconic coins in the United States ever since it was first introduced in 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. By 1987, the penny had already gone through decades of changes, both in design and composition. The 1987 Lincoln penny features the classic design we all know. On the obverse, or front side, we see Abraham Lincoln's bust facing right, with the word, Liberty, to the left and the year 1987 to the right. Above his head sits the national motto, In God We Trust. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial is displayed in detail, with the words, United States of America, at the top, 1 cent, at the bottom, and E Pluribus Unum, above the memorial. If you look closely, even a tiny engraving of Lincoln's statue inside the memorial can be seen, a beautiful detail that makes this coin legendary. But here's where it gets interesting. While most of these pennies are only worth a cent, rare varieties, minting errors, and certain high-grade examples have skyrocketed in value. And the rarest of them all? The one that sold for an unbelievable $3.5 million. Now, let's talk about the physical makeup of this coin. By 1987, the U.S. Mint had switched the penny's composition from mostly copper to primarily zinc with a thin copper plating. So a 1987 penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, weighing about 2.5 grams. These pennies were minted at 2 major locations, Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, with a small D mint mark. Billions of them were produced, and they entered circulation in massive numbers. In fact, most people from the late 80s and early 90s probably handled dozens of these coins without giving them a second thought. So how does a coin that was produced by the billions suddenly reach a value of millions? The answer lies in rare errors, pristine condition, and collector demand. There are a few specific reasons why the 1987 Lincoln penny can be worth so much. Coins with unique minting mistakes, such as double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or wrong planchets, become extremely rare and collectible. A tiny misprint can turn a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream worth thousands, or even millions. The 1987 penny that reached the $3.5 million mark wasn't just any penny. It was a perfectly preserved, uncirculated coin, graded at the absolute highest level by professional coin graders. Imagine a coin staying flawless for nearly 40 years. It's like finding a time capsule. When serious collectors want the rarest and best condition example of a coin, the price skyrockets. Auctions have seen bidding wars that push values to mind-blowing levels. The $3.5 million penny is a prime example of this intense competition. So yes, one 1987 penny actually sold for $3.5 million in a private auction. That single coin changed hands for more money than most people make in a lifetime, all because of its rarity, grade, and desirability. It's not just about owning a coin, it's about owning a piece of American history, a work of art in metal, and the bragging rights of having one of the rarest Lincoln pennies ever known. Now let's talk about what you need to do if you have a 1987 penny in your possession. Not all of them are valuable, but here's a checklist to see if yours could be a jackpot. Is it from Philadelphia, no mark, or Denver with a D? Rare varieties exist in both. Use a magnifying glass to spot doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's features. Off-center strikes and cracks are also worth noting. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, can fetch huge sums. If you suspect your penny is special, send it to grading services like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can turn your coin into a treasure. Coins like the 1987 penny aren't just collectibles, they're also investments. Rare coins have a history of appreciating in value, especially when demand is high. Think of it this way: a penny worth 1 cent in 1987 turned into a multi-million-dollar treasure in just a few decades. That's a return on investment that beats real estate, stocks, or gold. So the next time you get change at the store, or you dig through an old jar of pennies, don't just dismiss that old Lincoln cent. Take a close look. You might be staring at the 1987 penny worth $3.5 million. Imagine finding one of those and becoming rich overnight, all from a coin most people wouldn't bend down to pick up. If you enjoyed this video, and you want to learn more about the most valuable coins in US history, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to learn about the next millionaire-making coin. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare penny in your pocket change? Remember, treasure is everywhere, you just have to know where to look. Your fortune could be hiding in plain sight. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought it was just 1 cent? Barely enough to buy anything today? Well, what if I told you that one of those ordinary-looking pennies from 1981 could actually be worth a staggering $3.3 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, something most people toss aside, could turn you into a millionaire overnight. In today's video, we're diving deep into the story, history, value, and secret features of the 1981 Lincoln penny, and how a coin most people ignore could change your life forever. So stick around, because this is one coin story you do not want to miss. The Lincoln cent, or penny, has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the design has gone through some changes, but by 1981, the penny was still carrying the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been introduced back in 1959. On the obverse side, we have Abraham Lincoln's portrait facing right, with the words "I in God we trust" across the top, Liberty to the left, and the year 1981 to the right. The mint mark, if present, is just below the year. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, with United States of America and E pluribus unum above, and the denomination 1 cent below. At first glance, it looks just like billions of other pennies. But appearances can be deceiving. What makes the 1981 penny so fascinating is that it came right at the edge of a major change in U.S. coinage. For most of its life, the Lincoln penny had been made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that rich reddish-brown color and a heavier feel. Mint made a massive change. To save money on production, they switched the penny's composition from copper to mostly zinc, with only a thin copper coating. The 1982 penny became much lighter, and the switch marked the end of an era. 1981 was the final full year of the traditional solid copper pennies ***. Collectors know this, and they value 1981 cents because they represent the last chapter of the original copper Lincoln Memorial penny. But that's not all. Among these coins are rare varieties, minting errors, and pristine high-grade examples that can sell for jaw-dropping amounts. Now let's get to the jaw-dropping part. A rare 1981 Lincoln penny, perfectly preserved and carrying unique qualities, has been recorded to sell for an unbelievable $3.3 million at auction. Yes, $3.3 million for 1 cent. Imagine finding that in your coin jar, pocket change, or tucked away in a family collection. That 1 penny could transform you into a millionaire literally overnight. So what makes this coin so valuable? Several factors come into play. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS-70 is flawless under magnification, with no scratches, spots, or wear. An uncirculated, perfect quality 1981 penny can fetch astronomical sums. Some 1981 pennies were struck off center, double-die errors, or created on the wrong planchet. These minting mistakes can make a coin extremely rare and sought after. As the last full year of copper pennies, 1981 coins hold a special place in U.S. history. That adds even more collector value. Once a rare coin hits the market, collectors and investors drive the price higher and higher. That's exactly what happened with the famous $3.3 million 1981 Lincoln penny. Now, the big question: how can you check if your 1981 penny is worth thousands, or even millions? 1981 pennies were made at the Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S mints. The S-mint-proof coins are especially desirable. 1981 pennies should weigh 3.11 grams because they are copper. If you find one that's lighter, you may have a transitional error planchet, which could be incredibly valuable. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling on the lettering or numbers, which could indicate a double-die error. Check the rims and edges for off-center strikes or misalignments. If your penny has sharp details, no scratches, and still shines as if it just left the mint, it could be worth grading by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. While most 1981 pennies in circulation are worth just face value, high-grade and error varieties can sell anywhere from $50 to $10,000 or more. But the ultra-rare example that hit auction at $3.30 million has shown the world that these coins are not just pocket change, they are hidden treasures. Why are people willing to pay millions for a penny? The answer lies in numismatics, the study and collection of coins. Rare coins are more than just collectibles, they are alternative investments. Over the years, coins like the 1981 penny have skyrocketed in value, and serious collectors see them as historical artifacts, treasures that carry not only monetary value but also cultural significance. Think about it. There are millions of 1981 pennies out there, but only a handful in perfect condition or with rare errors. That scarcity is what makes them so desirable. Imagine checking your old jar of coins, pulling out a dusty penny, and realizing it's worth a fortune. That's the magic of coins like the 1981 Lincoln cent. People have literally found life-changing wealth sitting in their change jars, in rolls from the bank, or in collections they inherited from grandparents. So don't ignore those pennies lying around. They could hold the key to your millionaire dreams. The 1981 Lincoln penny may look like just another coin in circulation, but in reality, it holds incredible potential. With a market value hitting as high as $3.3 million, it proves that treasure is hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about pocket change, take a closer look at your pennies. You never know, the coin in your hand right now could make you rich overnight. So the next time you see a 1981 penny, don't just spend it, inspect it carefully. That little coin could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins worth millions, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to discover hidden treasures in your own pocket change. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. You might inspire someone else to check their own coins and strike gold. Have you ever looked at a simple penny in your hand and thought, this little coin could change my life forever? Well, today, you're about to discover one of the most shocking stories in the world of rare coins, the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has turned ordinary pocket change into a jaw-dropping fortune worth $3.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. Just one penny could make you a multimillionaire overnight. So stay with me till the end, because I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so rare, how to spot it, and how people like you have literally walked into coin shops or coin shows with just one of these and walked out rich. Let's start with a little history. The year was 1970. America was in the middle of the Vietnam War, protests filled the streets, the Beatles had just broken up, and the U.S. Mint in San Francisco was producing millions of Lincoln pennies. At first glance, these coins looked just like every other penny, Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But hidden among the ordinary circulation coins were a handful of era pennies and rare variations that would go down in history. The 1970 Lincoln cent is where the magic begins. The S mint mark shows it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, and while most are common, some of these coins were struck with mistakes so rare that collectors fight tooth and nail to own them. So, what makes the 1970 penny worth millions? It's not just age. Plenty of coins are old but not valuable. The true value comes from minting errors and varieties. One of the most famous is the 1970 small date Lincoln cent. There are two major date styles from that year, the large date and the small date. To the untrained eye, they look almost identical, but experts know the difference. On the small date version, the 7 in 1970 sits higher, almost level with the 9 and 0. And the Liberty inscription looks a bit weaker and blurry compared to the large date. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Combine this small date variety with proof coins, double dies, and minting errors, and you get one of the most valuable modern pennies in history. Collectors are obsessed with the 1970 penny. At major auctions, pristine examples have shattered records. While regular 1970 pennies are only worth face value, the 1970 small date double die obverse in perfect condition has sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the rarest examples, with both error doubling and proof striking, are now valued at over $3.2 million. That means one lucky finder, maybe someone who once pulled a coin out of a jar, walked away with a fortune that most people only dream about. Imagine a single penny in circulation, something people ignore on the sidewalk, turning into more money than some people make in a lifetime. Now, the big question: how do you know if you have the $1 million penny? Here's what to look for. On the 1970 small date, the top of the 7 is almost even with the 0. On the large date, the 7 sits much lower. On the small date, the word Liberty looks a little weak and blurry. Some coins show doubling on the date or letters, known as double die errors. These are incredibly valuable. Make sure the coin has the small s for San Francisco. Without it, it's not the same rarity. If your penny matches these characteristics, you might just have a coin worth a life-changing amount of money. So why does the coin world pay millions for a penny? It comes down to scarcity and demand. The U.S. Mint only produced a very small batch of these unique variations, and many were lost or destroyed over the years. That means only a handful survive today. When there's low supply but high demand, the price skyrockets. And because coin collectors and investors see these pennies as both pieces of history and treasures, they're willing to spend millions. It's not just about metal, it's about owning something that shouldn't exist, something the mint never intended, and something that connects us back to a moment in history. Now let's talk about investment. Some people collect coins just for fun, but others see it as serious business. Imagine buying a coin for a few cents decades ago and seeing its value rise into the millions. That's better than the stock market, better than real estate, and better than Bitcoin for some collectors. The 1970 penny is proof that treasure can be hiding right in plain sight. And here's the best part: these coins can still be found in circulation today. That's right, they're not locked up in museums or private vaults only. People have pulled them from piggy banks, coin rolls, and old jars sitting on shelves. So, what should you do right now? go check your change. Look at every penny you find, especially ones dated 1970. Don't ignore that jar of coins in the kitchen drawer. Don't walk past a penny lying on the sidewalk. Because who knows, that little coin could be the key to turning you into a millionaire overnight. The 1970 Lincoln penny may look like just another cent, but it's a symbol of how life-changing opportunities can hide in the smallest things. Right now, its current market value sits at an unbelievable $3.2 million, and who knows, the next one could be in your hand. So keep your eyes open, keep collecting, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next lucky person to discover a millionaire penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I've got more videos coming on rare Lincoln pennies, Jefferson nickels, and dimes worth a fortune. You don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes it only takes 1 cent to change your life forever.